So as I was saying, everybody has the potential to be good or bad. It's the choices that we make in our life that's determined, what is good. What's good to one person may not be good to another. And so, in all honesty, you have to consider morals on a sociological or even global scale. What would be right, fair, to treat everybody? Is that with aggression? Is that with pure kindness? Is it with any other, I don't know what are those adjectives? Throw at it. What about understanding? What if that's how we approach things? Instead of concentrating so much on the hand that we have extended with the stick that we have behind, why don't we sit there and put both of those down and ask the question, tell me about you, please. Get to know somebody more than what their past or anything else. Only use anything you see outside of what the person is saying. Use those as a guide, not as fact, because now you have third-hand knowledge. I say this because I was thinking about my dad and really the forgiveness of him. And as I take the scab of pittance more, I find it easier and easier to gain peace from that forgiveness. And that's what I mean by waking up, is that all of these, I'm changing my own moral code, I'm changing my own brain, I guess, teaching myself. Hard to look at the camera. I'm not looking at that thing. The more I try to gain this peace, the harder it is I find to communicate with others. Because in truth, I'm just in a growth period. I'm not any kind of expert or anybody who knows anything outside of my own purview. And so it's harder to connect with people because my thoughts and feelings, new thoughts and feelings, are in their infancy. So it's hard to change these angry impulses into forgiveness. Instead of being angry, let it go. A perfect example is I was in, Citrus Heights neighborhood, right? With Papa Murphy's to get a pizza for dinner. Celebrated, I don't remember doing something, party or whatever. Anyway, I get in the center lane to turn left. And there's this woman that thought I was going to turn earlier, and she almost cut me off. She stopped, got mad, I just went, whatever, pulled in, parked, And there she is, parking right next to me, not making eye contact. I'm giving my whole. And so I walk in, but I don't know what I want. So I'm just taking my time, looking at the menu. Out of the corner of my eye, I see that she's walking up. So I open the door, and she blew her mind. She was expecting me to yell at her. She was expecting me to be mean or do something. She was not expecting. Here you go. Have a nice day. And which makes me think about societal interactions you have with people every day. You bump into somebody, you get angry, and it was on purpose, right? Or you need to be more careful, or dude, accidents happen. We're all human. We all want our mistakes to be forgiven. So why aren't we forgiving of these mistakes? Why aren't we understanding? Because if you understand, then you're okay. If you know, you're angry. Because knowing and understanding are two different things. You know 1 plus 1 is 2. But you don't know that 1 apple plus 1 orange equals 1 apple and 1 orange. You don't have 2. You can't turn an orange into an apple. That's the difference between knowing and understanding. You know the equations, you understand how to apply them. And so, if you understand that people can make mistakes, if you understand that people can fuck up, people bring forward, people have shit on their minds, people have their own fucking baggage. So why are we blaming them? Because we're doing the same thing ourselves. Never understood that. Even when I was doing it, it didn't make sense at the time. I just knew it felt right. Upbringing. So how do we extend this understanding of the wolf's child to people? Right? Take 2 people. Someone who's been given everything, and someone who has nothing. Now it's proven they can achieve the same things and have the same personality with two different upbringings. But too often we forget that it's a fucking bell curve. Yes, you have these normal people that can succeed, and all these normal people fall into it. What about the people on the outside? The people whose upbringing drives them. Because they don't know any better. And when people tell them that they need to change, they get defensive. And, no, I'm perfect. Look how successful I am. Blah, 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 blah. And so it really takes, you have to show them that there's a different, better way. And you do that through your actions towards them. If they're angry and yelling, you're smiling, well, I like you. And they kind of cool down. Okay, well, it's really not that important, is it? I don't have to have a fucking heart attack over it. Pretty soon, through your everyday interactions, things will change. It just takes time. Americans are so damn impatient. Give it to me now. I need it now. Goddamn cell phones. If you have a license, have a fucking cell phone. No, I can't say that. It's funny though. No, complete violation of the Constitution. So that'd just be so stupid. Well, doesn't matter, we're violating rights left and right, so who fucking cares about one more, right? Let's go ahead and increase security and lose freedom. I mean, fuck. We don't have any personal responsibilities in this country anyways. So yeah, go ahead, government, take care of us. I worked for them for 6 years. They're nothing special. But it just, it's really surprising how fear drives us to do different things. And mostly the fear of the future. Fear that the future is not going to turn out the way we want. That things are going to happen. You know, the old adage, expect the worst, but prepare for the best. No, prepare for the worst, but expect the best. I got it the way society has. Expect the worst, but then prepare for the best. And so, and we justify it. We think it's okay. When you start arguing with somebody because you're afraid to ask a simple question, and now there's this huge argument because all of these feelings and fears have come flooding out, and they're irrational because they're feelings. They're not cognitive. You know, now the floodgates are open. And you start making all of these justification and rationalizations based off of, I don't know. And then there's a lot of, oh, I didn't mean that. Oh, I misspoke. Oh, you don't understand. Blah, 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 blah. And all you have to do is ask a simple fucking question. Dude, I swear, fucking society's crazy. But this whole roundabout way of asking questions instead of directly asking that Americans have goes along with the emboldenment of Facebook posts. You can Facebook anything you want all day, but you can't ask somebody a simple fucking question of, do you like me? If you're too afraid of rejection. Is your life that critical of somebody else's affections that you require them to validate your existence the entire time? It's kind of me in a nutshell, you know. But I'm working on self-validation. I don't need somebody else to tell me that I'm okay and that I'm doing a good job. I just don't want to give you all that. I don't care what you do. You say, tell me, hey Jake, how you doing? We don't care about fucking, you know, good job. Just don't yell at me. Fucking roar at me. Preemptive. God, I saw that all the time with a past relationship. Instead of just asking, blah, 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 you did this. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't ask because you wanted to say no. Really? So we went through an hour and a half of arguing because you couldn't ask a question. You're afraid of the answer. Never ask a question if you're afraid of the answer, and don't bring it up in conversation unless you're prepared to ask the question. This is a lot of my struggle. Is the self-doubt, pessimism, you know, like, shit, blah, and it deals with the way that people around me are, which is a form of validation. when I'm working on just going, okay, well, wasn't your thing. Mine. You know. But a lot of times it gets hard because I can't express myself properly. And so I can be quiet instead of talking because I'm not going to say the right thing. I know I'm not going to say the right thing. And a lot of times it's taken as, I'm being reserved and being quiet. And, no, it's not that I'm being quiet, it's more of I'm being introspective. I want to communicate something. I don't feel confident that I can. How can I build that confidence to say what I need to? So a lot of times, then that triggers a whole fucking avalanche of other thoughts, feelings, and so I'm getting to the core problem of why can't I ask this simple question? And if it's because through the morality test, it makes sense that the answer no will be said. Because let's say that I walk in and tell the wife, I want to buy a brand new truck today. I will take no for an answer. Well, if my wife says no, because we are broke, it kind of makes sense. I can understand that now. If she would have said yes, that would have caused me to question, why are you saying yes? This is irresponsible to say yes. And if she says, because I want to, you want to, alright, let's go fucking buy you a car. Don't fuck around with me. So, but a lot of times I also get lost into my fantasies because there are societal traps, catch-22s. But no matter what you say, someone's going to take it wrong because that's what they want to see. And so, usually when I get into that trap, I'm cornered. I've learned to shut down and be quiet and really try to measure my words, and especially my actions. But it's weird. It's like when I get really angry or really hyper-stimulated, because I'm always stimulated. I mean, be hyper-stimulated in case of an accident, emergency, things like that. Things get crystal clear. There's no ringing, there's no second guessing, there's no self-doubt. There's just what is going on, what needs to happen, what do I need to make happen. And so, I don't know if the Air Force instilled that, or if I always had it. Or maybe I had it and the Air Force honed it. I don't know. I've just always been good in an emergency. Just for some reason, something clicks. Something, and the world changes. And everything is clear. My actions, everything that's going on around me. The world kind of slows down a little bit. But then, when it's all over, I go back to this fucking crazy batshit mess. Like a bunch of warring countries that, it's the United States. They bicker and piss and run with each other until, oh my God, we crashed into it. wake up in the morning, usually tired like I am now, my dreams can almost be indistinguishable from reality. So sometimes I have to do a reality check. Am I really in bed right now? And am I safe? All that. But there's a clarity to my dreams. There's a clarity of thought. There's a linear thought process in my dreams. It's not hyper chaotic like a lot of people's are. It's usually very well ground-based, reality-based. And so, nothing extravagant. Maybe a road won't be there when I thought it would be, or something like that. A pinnacle growing out of somebody's forehead, and a snake growing out of an eyeball, things like that. Which makes it hard to tell from reality. And so, I wake up and there's a certain clarity of thought. Even though I'm groggy, there's still that kind of time brain working. And as I wake up, there's a certain clarity of thought and of feelings. Then eventually the ringing in my ears starts again. The impulsive thoughts, the general uneasiness of my emotions because I'm feeling a little out of control. And I have to take my pills. The gabapentin helps bring me to a certain level. But it only goes so far. And a lot of times it takes me to take it the rest of the way. A lot of work on my anxiety, a lot of breathing, a lot of relaxing, a lot of self-soothing. So, that's another state of mind, because my thoughts are different. My thoughts are a little more random, a little more spacey. And it's because I'm suffering from a lot of peaks and valleys, and I'm kind of shutting down to maintain control. It's kind of an escape from reality away from me to self-soothe. And so, the other state is when I have my anxiety under control. I'm not hungry, I'm not thirsty, I'm not dehydrated, I'm not anything. I'm at peace. And it's usually after my nightly dose of gabapentin that I experience this other clarity of thoughts. It's almost logical. And it's usually when I really come to a lot of epiphanies about myself and the world around me. But it's a peace from this clarity. And it's only ever very fleeting. Only lasts a few minutes, if that. Sometimes it's only a few seconds. But there's peace from understanding in my life. And I felt the happiness that I had from forgiving myself for the things I've done in my life. Because I'll have flashbacks, and I'll actually speak cringe or something. Just straight from my memory. Because it was hard for me to soothe during those moments. Because these memories hit me like a wave, and the regrets, there's things that I really wish I wouldn't have done. these times of clarity, I understand that those mistakes and the memory of those mistakes being so vivid means I'm not going to do it again. I don't want to do it again. And so that brings peace. Because it tells me, the self-test that tells me that I am a good person. And that, yes, I'm going to get over this. And I'm really beginning to believe that it's not that I'm smarter than a lot of people. I've been accused of that my entire fucking life. I hate it. It's just that I'm a little more observant. I have this want to understand the world around me and not just know the world around me. And I chalk that up to the upbringing, the training I received is from my family. My father and at some point my mother were abusive, bad things. So I learned to observe, profile, or whatever. I don't do it consciously. It's trained into my hindbrain, my animalistic. Like an abused dog. He knows when you're angry. He knows what to do to make you happy, or try to. And he knows when you're just going to have to suffer through it. And so he learns what not to do to get smacked. And so when you have a conversation with somebody who's been through this ordeal, they'll start picking up on your cues to make you happy. And it's unconscious. I've done it all the time. And it's hard to get out of that constantly wanting to please. But it does allow me to look at somebody and begin to understand them. Now that I'm understanding, but like I said before, I'm still learning, and so there's still that wall of, because I have a lack of knowledge of how, a lack of experience. And so that causes some friction and some uncertainty. And that's where my upbringing failed me. Because yes, I can see, but I can't apply. And so I know what to do, or I know what to do. I know I understand who I'm talking to. I just can't speak their language. I just sad for this country. It's not the country or the people or the politicians. I'm sad for the idea that this country was founded on, because I feel it's widely being ignored. Because the concept of freedom comes heavily into my thoughts. I have the freedom to do whatever I want. But does that mean I want to do it? So I have a car. My truck will do 120 miles an hour. Protect the gear ratio. Do I want to go 120? No. But a lot of people do. And I've never understood that. Well, do it. Why not? Sure, in little spurts, if you need to, yeah, that's fine. But why do you want to do it all the time? All you're doing is burning it out. Which is the same with your body. Run your body out 120% all the time. You're going to burn out. And so, I have the freedom to be a psychotic. I have the ability. But I don't have the want. There's no want there. What will that do? Take away somebody else's freedom? I just deprive somebody of what I'm striving for? Why would I want to do that? And that's usually what psychotics do. Encroach upon the freedoms of others. And so, I don't want people to encroach upon mine. Let me be free. Let me do what I want. As long as I'm not affecting anybody else, who cares? You know? If people are going to judge each other based on the potential to do bad, fuck. We all need lock pages, dude. Everybody in this goddamn world needs a lock page because we all can be psychos. All have that potential. We all don't have the ability. We all have the potential. And I think I came pretty close a couple of times to just losing it. And I got scared. Very scared. Very scared. Because I saw myself through my toddler eyes. My toddler eyes is what I was becoming, doing, and saying and feeling. And I realized that little pig would be scared shitless and fucking crapping his pants because Dad was coming down the hall with a belt. And so I realized that I'm encroaching on others' freedoms in that manner. Same manner that I abhor. You know what I mean? And so I feel immediately disgust with myself, disappointment, anger, resentment. But I really do need to realize that I'm fighting the knowledge that I've been ingrained in for 30 years. And not to take away from these guys, but special forces guys who are programmed to take immediate action defensively, offensively. They've been programmed. And they have moments where somebody triggers them accidentally, because that's what society doesn't know, where you don't have a big fucking button saying, here's my trigger, don't push. You know? But there's a lot of understanding for these people. Because they can understand being programmed and fighting that program. And so the more I think about it, the more I find that American society has a lack of understanding and a lack of willingness to even do the research. Look at history. History will tell you the mistakes that have been made in the past, and if you don't make them in the future. But too often we ignore history in favor of the moment. We want it now. We want our money now. We want our health care now. We want our jobs now. We want blah, 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 now. And I'm more and more convinced that I'm completely sane.